Hey guys, it's your boy, Sir Adrian, back at you with another video. This was a video I promised you guys over the weekend for both Saturday and Sunday classes. So over the weekend we actually did this in great detail, but this is a refresher video in case we had any technical difficulties any students didn't understand. So we're going to be talking about proportions. Now, this video is going to be actually short because my battery life on this iPad is kind of small. It's probably like 20%, and I do not want to lose this. Tried to record before, did not work out. So we're going to talk a little bit about proportions. Now, proportions is basically just a big word for saying a relationship between two items. So essentially, think of it like this. If it takes 2 days for one of our students, let's just say Aiden, if it takes 2 days for Aiden to eat one bucket of KFC, how long would it take for Aiden to eat 2 buckets of KFC? And we start to see a relationship between numbers. So therefore, one bucket takes 2 days, therefore 2 buckets will take 4 days. Now, proportion is a very integral part of the essay syllabus, the 2019 to 2023 framework, and it falls under the entire topic of proportion. Here we will deal with stuff like direct proportion, unequal sharing, and much more. Now, guys, this is the topic. Now, certain topics, they kind of like how should I say it? It's specific to SEA, but this is a topic that will help you for your whole life. You guys will be getting things like this in Form 1, Form 2, up to Form 5. When I did the UE scholarship exam and got the UE scholarship exam, and actually won the scholarship, but this was actually present in a lot of the questions. So let's talk a little bit about proportion. So proportions and basically how we could use them to find an unknown value. Now, let's talk a little bit about prior knowledge. Remember when we did fractions? Yes, I remember. I spent 7 hours making that handout. That handout was scary. So when we do fractions, the first thing we talk about types of fractions. So proper fractions, 1 over 2, improper fractions, 4 over 3, and mixed numbers, which will be like 1.5. But right after that, what did we do? We talked about equivalent fractions. So, for instance, if we have a fraction like a half. Ooh, guys, totally excuse this crap with his handwriting. Like I said, it is super early in the morning and I did not sleep as yet. And waking like 3 hours, what? Okay, so if we have a half, right, which would represent 1 over 2. So if we're gonna buy like this real best shoe in Francis Fashions, and Francis Fashions is like, yo, bro, you're gonna get half price or 50% off. You basically pay $50 for that shirt. So $100 for your shirt, half price off 50%. That will give you the shirt for $50, which will be kind of cool. Alright, so a half, and if we multiply the top number by any number, like, okay, let's use 2. Multiply top number by 2, and we multiply the bottom number by 2 as well, we would actually have 2 over 4. 1 multiplied by 2 will give you 2. 2 multiplied by 2 will give you 4. So we have 2 over 4. These are what we call equivalent fractions because they basically mean the same exact thing. 2 out of 4 is the same as 1 over 2. Now, why is this important, right? That is actually super important because the same example we use with Aiden just now, where it would take it would take 2 days for him to eat one bucket of KFC, which is like, I mean, come on, everyone except vegans, everyone besides vegans, we were missing our Kentucky Fried Chicken. I mean, guys, the pepper sauce is to die for. Not better than Royal Castle, but yeah, still pretty good, like 9 out of 10, right? So essentially, if we have 2 buckets of KFC, how much? We need basically an equivalent fraction. So if we represent, for instance, 1 bucket of KFC over 2 days, we put it as a fraction like that. Then we see, so how many days would he take to eat 2 buckets of KFC? So over here we have the days, 2 days, and we have 1 bucket, right? So 2 buckets of KFC would take how long? And what we said, so this would basically be an equivalent fraction. 1 over 2, as we saw above. Oh no, the eraser just came on. No. Okay, 1 over 2. That is not a pencil. Alright, pencil, back up. All right, 1 over 2. And when we saw that we actually multiply the top number by 2, the bottom number by 2, we got 4. We would have 2 over 4, which would basically be the same thing. Now, let me show you the methods that I taught over the weekend. So guys, first of all, like I said, do not... Okay, let me figure out how to erase first. Okay, good. All right, so let's start with different methods, right? So let's do something, let's use a super simple example, right? All right, erase everything, good. All right, and what we'll do now is I'll show you guys different ways of calculating the same answers when we have proportion, right? Or when we have ratios and proportion. So let us use the example. It would take a student 5 days to read one book. So let's write that. If it takes 5 days for a student to read one book, how long will it take for him or her to read 3 books, right? So essentially what we teach our students is that there are 3 main methods, right? Now the simplest method would be the diagram method, and the thing is we basically just taking what we have and drawing it. The second one is the mathematical method, which if the question goes for more than 1 mark, so I would uh, tell you guys that you guys should definitely use that method. And the third one is just basically using logic, right? So let's draw this out. If it takes 5 days for a student to read one book, right? So let me change the color a bit here. All right, so change it to blue. So this is one book, right? And it takes 5 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How long would it take to read 3 books, right? So this will be 5 days, right? So let's draw another book. And guys, this is like the easiest method, right? And it may not be applicable if we deal with large numbers. However, a lot of the questions that I've seen in section 1, they actually have numbers that you could use this method for. Also, you could use this to double check, because we want to make sure you guys could verify all the work that you guys do. So this is another book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 days, 5 days, 5 days, right? 5 trees, 15 days, right? So this is not the most precise, this is not the fastest method. This is in case, this is your backup. This is in case you forget how to do the mathematical method, which I'm going to show you guys now, and you just want to double check your work. So let us move on. Right? The other method would basically be to use, remember what we talked about was equivalent fractions. And how we're going to do that is by creating equivalent fractions, right? We said, let's start with a ratio first, right? A ratio is basically a fraction used in a certain way to get a specific outcome. So we have one student, it will take him 5 days. So we can actually put that as a fraction as 1 over 5, or if it was a ratio, it would be 1 to 5, right? Now, 1 over 5, and they asked us, how long would it take for him or her to read 3 books? So units are super important here. So if we look at him, this will be 1 book, and it will take him 5 days, right? Again, like I said, units are super important. So they are asking us, how long will it take him to read 3 books? So books is on top of this fraction, right? There'll be numerator. So 3 books, and we want to find out how much days. So the bottom unit, the denominator, will actually be in days. So we have no idea. So we're actually going to use maths, epic mathematics, to find that out. Oh, guys, by the way, I'm recording with the Sennheiser noise cancelling headset, and it feels so weird. I think I'll just stick to the lav mic, so that you guys, I'll just be more familiar with it. So we have 1 over 5 equals to 3 over question mark. And when you guys go into form 1, you'll see we represent our unknown by saying x. We could leave it as a question mark for now, but this is just what we're trying to find out. So 1 over 5, 3 over x. So what do we do now, guys? Like I said this weekend, we cross multiply, right? So essentially, we multiply 1 by x, so 1 multiplied by x, which will give us x, which will just basically give us 1, will give us 3 multiplied by 5, which will give us 15, right? And that would be basically how much days, because remember this unit is in days. So if one book takes the student 5 days to read, 3 books will take him 15 days to read. Remember, we give you guys a lot of homework based on this, so we will be correcting that homework. This is an example of direct proportion. So essentially, as one number, so this is direct proportion, right? So what that means is like simply this: as one number goes up, so as one number increases, the other increases as well. Basically to the same amount, right? So the other one will increase, it'll increase by the same amount, the same percentage, and as one decreases, it will decrease by the same exact amount. So, okay, like I said, it'll be a short video, so I'll wrap up shortly. So how could we use this in real life? Okay, let's think about a situation. All right, let's say you guys gonna hit a Maracas. Maracas Beach, no, Five Islands Water Park, right? So let's just say the distance from where you are to Five Islands Water Park is, let's just say 30 kilometers, right? And let's just say you have some kind of a vehicle that usually that burns a lot of gas. So if you see that a quarter tank, it would give you, okay, so let's just write this out. Let's just say from where you are to Water Park, Five Islands, is 30 kilometers, right? And you look at the gas tank and you guys see it on a quarter tank, and you know quarter tank, you know that this quarter tank will give you 10 kilometers. You would want to know, this is just a question for question's sake, just to test you guys. The formal essay questions will be in the notes in the Edmodo classes. How long, how much of the tank would you need in order to reach Five Islands? We're not talking about getting back. Let's just say you have a magical gas station right there in Chaguaramas, and it'll fill up your gas tank. So essentially, 10 kilometers, a quarter tank. But we still have 30 kilometers. So 30 kilometers, and that will be question mark. So 10 basically multiplied by 3 will give you 30. A quarter, so 1 over 4 multiplied by 3, that will give you 3 quarter. So that is one example, but let's use a simpler example. Let's just say your parents send you by the parlor, and you need to get a pencil, but you don't just need to get one pencil, you need to get a pencil for your brother, for your little sister too. And you go there, Tanti at the parlor, she's like, yo, we only have these really cool, awesome Faber-Castell pencils, and they cost, let's just say, $5 for one Faber-Castell pencil. And you have $20, and you have to get 3 pencils, one for you, one for your sister, one for your brother. No, you're not gonna not bother about them. You're not gonna buy all the pencils and keep it. So, we legit want to find out. So in total, you have $20. Would you be, and guys, this is just off the top of the head at 5 a.m. So, we have to get 3 pencils. How much would it cost? So, like we said, one pencil costs $5, and we have 3 pencils would cost how much? And what we said before, we cross multiply, right? So 1 times question mark, well, 1 question mark equals 5 multiplied by 3, which will be 15, equals $15. In addition, if we have to check it over, we just use the method that I showed you before. You draw a pencil and you're like, yo, this costs $5. So 3 pencils, this is the worst drawing ever, will be, this will be 5, this will be 5, This will be 5. Add them up. 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15. Anyhow, guys, that's all I have for you today. This was just a bit of a booster video, just to complement the lessons that we had on Saturday. Remember, classes on Saturday, that's at least 2 hours. So I just wanted to make sure everyone understands this. If you have any problems, hit us up on WhatsApp, anywhere on the Facebook page, or you could even give us a call. This would be the video on unequal sharing. However, no, sorry, this is the video on equal sharing or direct proportions. Indirect proportions, inverse proportions, not on the SE syllabus. So the next topic I'll be doing would be on unequal sharing. So unequal sharing, and essentially that is the one where I told you guys, hey, if for instance, like the example I used in class was it was Joshua and Nadir. So one of the parents decided to carry Joshua and Nadir to the circus. The circus come back Trinidad. Okay, with Corona, like really doubt that will happen. But oh no, let's say they're going to see Avengers Endgame. So the parent was like, yo, carrying Joshua, carrying Nadir. Parent only has like $100. But Joshua, oh, okay, here, I'll do a little bit of explanation for this one time same video, right? So let's change the color. So Joshua and Nadir, they're going to see Avengers, right? And the person carrying them, the guardian, they only have $100. That's all, right? So they already have tickets to book it online. Don't know how to do that, but they did. And they was like, all right, here what? Joshua came first in test again. So we can just give, if we had to share that $100 equally, obviously it would just be 100 divided by 2, right? Which will be 50. And Nadir would get 50 and Joshua would get 50. But Joshua like came first in test, so we have to give him a bonus. So the question would be phrased something like this. I would say the parent or guardian decides to split $100 between Joshua and Nadir, whereby Joshua gets $20 more than Nadir. Solve for Joshua and solve for Nadir. So what I was telling them, what I was telling students in class, and anyone who was there, you guys would definitely remember, I said, yeet the excess. So if you guys are listening to this and you guys probably want to know what is yeet, students nowadays have really strange terminology, and yeet means to throw, basically to toss away. All right, so yeet that garbage in the bin. So the first thing that we do is we would take that $100 and the excess which Joshua would be getting, we take it away, we subtract. So 100 minus 20 would give us 80. Then, once we have this figure, then we divide equally. So we say 80 divided by 2, which will be 40. So that means Joshua will get 40, Nadir will get 40. But wait, there's more. Like that dude who has the infomercial for ShamWow. Remember, 40 plus 40 will give us 80. We have total $100. We can't leave it like that. So that $20 that we tossed away, the 20, we'll re-add it. Sorry, 20. Where is that eraser? Erase. We re-add it to Joshua's amount, and we get 60. So Joshua has 60, Nadir has 40, and therefore that's how we get the whole $100. So in the question, we say Joshua has 20, Nadir has 40, and therefore it makes 100. So okay, we kind of covered a bit of unequal sharing. So here, I'll get some really difficult questions. I'll toss them at you guys on Edmodo, and I'll see you guys next weekend. No, I'll do a couple more videos. Anyhow, guys, peace out and be safe.